we're outside the map. And if you've ever dreamed of traveling through Italy, but the prices in Rome, Venice, or Florence made you hesitate, this video is for you. Because yes, there's another Italy. One that's just as full of history, beauty, and culture, but without the tourist crowds or the high prices. Today, we'll show you how to explore it. We're going to compare the most famous spots with hidden gems that offer just as much or more for a lot less. Real value, real authenticity, and unforgettable experiences. Let's begin. Everyone knows the postcard version of Italy. Sipping espresso in a Florentine piazza, drifting through Venice in a gondola, staring up at the Sistine Chapel in Rome. And we're not going to lie, those moments are magical. But here's what no one tells you. Those exact same experiences can also be exhausting, overpriced, and frankly, overrated. If you don't know where else to look, take Venice. It's enchanting, sure, but also incredibly crowded. Tourists pour in by the millions each year, driving up prices and draining the soul out of the place. A simple plate of pasta in the city center can cost you 20 euros or more, and don't even get us started on accommodation. Now picture this, canals, cobblestones, and quiet beauty, but in Treviso. Just 30 minutes from Venice by train, this charming town offers a similar vibe, but with a fraction of the tourists and a way more relaxed atmosphere. The canals wind through a historic center filled with Renaissance frescoes, cozy ostery, and local markets where the vendors actually speak Italian to you, not just English price tags. Or let's talk about Rome, the Colosseum, the Vatican, the Pantheon. No one can deny how iconic they are. But Rome can feel overwhelming. The traffic, the noise, the endless lines. What if you could have ancient ruins, incredible food, and that eternal Italian charm without the chaos? Head south to Lecce, known as the Florence of the South. This Baroque gem in Puglia is full of sun-soaked piazzas, winding alleyways, and churches carved from golden limestone. You can eat like royalty for under 10 euros, and the beaches of the Salento Peninsula are only a short drive away. In Lecce, you're not just visiting Italy, you're living it. Let's not forget Florence, art, history, beauty, yes. But also shoulder-to-shoulder crowds in the Uffizi, long waits at the Duomo, and hotel prices that make your budget cry. But if you venture north, to a place like Arezzo, you'll find a city where Renaissance art lives in the streets and the hills roll with olive groves and vineyards. This is the real Tuscan experience. The food? Incredible. The wine? Local. The people? Friendly. And you won't be stuck behind dozens of tour groups holding selfie sticks. Even the Amalfi Coast, breathtaking as it is, can feel more like a luxury catalog than a destination. Prices are sky high, parking is a nightmare, and summer crowds can turn paradise into a traffic jam. Now look east, toward the Marche region. Places like Cirolo and Numana offer cliffside views of the Adriatic, turquoise waters, and colorful houses tumbling down the hills. But here, you'll pay half, or even a third, of what you'd spend in Positano. And you'll be sharing the view with Italians, not influencers. Want the dolce vita, but without the chaos? Try Lake Iseo instead of Lake Como. You'll still get dreamy waters, alpine backdrops, and lakeside towns with cobbled streets, but without George Clooney-level prices. Even in food, Italy has its quiet champions. Sure, everyone knows pizza in Naples and bistecca in Florence, but what about the arrosticini skewers of Abruzzo, the pumpkin tortelli of Mantua, or the seafood feasts of Puglia? These regional specialties are cheaper, more authentic, and just as mouthwatering as the ones you'll find in the big-name cities. Maybe even more. And let's talk about one of the most underrated pleasures of traveling: the people. In places like Basilicata, Molise, or Calabria, hospitality isn't something you pay for. It's something that's offered freely. Families invite you in. Grandmothers offer homemade cookies. Shopkeepers chat with you as if you were a neighbor. Yes, these places might not have metro lines or English menus, but that's part of the charm. You'll need to use your hands, a smile, and maybe a few words of Italian. And in return, you'll receive something you can't buy: a deeper connection. Here's another advantage of exploring lesser-known Italy. Your money stretches further. A week in Cinque Terre might leave you broke, but in places like the Itria Valley, you could rent a trullo, a traditional conical-roofed house, for the same price as a basic room on the coast. In Sicily, your budget might get you not just a meal, but a full tasting menu of fresh caught fish, local wines, and unforgettable hospitality. Still want to see famous spots? That's okay. Use them as reference points, but don't be afraid to veer off course. See Pompeii, then head to Paestum. Visit Pisa, then explore Lucca. Go to Milan, then escape to Bergamo's upper town for the afternoon. Italy rewards the curious traveler. Because this country isn't just one destination, it's hundreds of little worlds, each with their own rhythm, recipes, and stories. And many of the best ones don't make it into the guidebooks. So next time you think about traveling through Italy, remember this. You don't need a 5-star hotel to feel like royalty. You don't need to follow the crowds to find beauty, and you don't need to spend a fortune to live your Italian dream. There's an Italy beyond the cliches, one that's cheap, stunning, and totally worth it. If you enjoyed this trip, leave us a like, subscribe, and share it with that friend who always says, "I want to visit Italy, but it's too expensive." Show them it's possible. You just have to step a little outside the map.